Hey guys, how are you all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today with you guys is some huge DC news. Spoiler alert, kind of, if you haven't seen the 2019 film Joker yet by Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips, because we're going to be talking about that movie just a little bit, as well as the future of what Joker holds for DC and for comic book movies as in general. So, essentially this is basically breaking news. That's why I wanted to do this video really fast. Todd Phillips got the rights to not only do another Joker sequel, but also one other character in the DC universe, which of course, if you know anything about DC, you'll know that its roster of characters, like Marvel, is freaking huge. I mean, you know, if you get those those big thick books, you know, the Marvel and DC with all the characters inside them, there's over like 4,000 characters. It's crazy. Played any of the Lego DC games, or really any DC game, like Injustice, you will know that there are a lot of DC villains to choose from. And of course, if you play the Lego DC Supervillains, you'll know that that game is called, well, it's Lego DC Supervillains. So there's a huge emphasis on the DC villains, no duh. But again, today, what we're really talking about is Joker. Now, the Joker film did so well. It is #1, the highest R-rated film ever in terms of box office. It basically grossed over $1 billion, and it even beat The Dark Knight, which was extremely hard to beat. The Dark Knight is kind of like the standard of DC, but now I guess kind of Joker is that kind of standard. So, me personally, I have a Joker tribute. If you haven't seen that, check it out. And I also have my Joker review. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Joker on Blu-ray, I believe, will be coming out January 7th of 2020. So they wanted to get it in before Christmas, but I don't think they could. And January 7th, 2020 it is. But, however, the big news about Joker is not only do we have these new Warner Brothers and DC are kind of trying to expand the villain roster and do different origins and different movies based on its different villains, like Penguin, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, Lex Luthor, Black Manta. Now, these are not characters they're doing films on. This is just me telling you guys villains. As of right now, there are no actual movies on other characters that we know of yet. But again, knowing there's a huge roster of DC supervillains, we're bound to get something cool. I'm assuming we're going to get something about Lex Luthor and probably a lot of Batman villains, because the Batman villains are probably the most famous. However, the biggest news, like I said, you read the title, Joker is officially getting a sequel. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? $50 million to make, I believe. Very short, especially for a comic book film. It made over $1 billion. So, of course they're going to do a sequel, right? Who the fudge wouldn't want to do a sequel on that and get paid extra cash? But why I'm talking about this is, yes, we're getting more DC supervillain movies. Yes, we're getting a Joker sequel. But do we really need a Joker sequel? That is me talking about this right now. Now, before I get any started, let me just tell you guys that I love the Joker film, and I really do have a positive outlook on franchises, as you know. However, even too much of a great thing can be a bad thing, or it can lead to a bad thing. Just look at the Minions, right? They're really funny in Despicable Me 1 and 2. And then we had the Minions film. Well, you can have your own opinions about Minions the movie. I did not enjoy Minions the movie, and I sort of like Despicable Me 3. But the Minions, while they were funny in the first two, they got beaten to death like a horse. And look where we are now. Everyone basically fucking hates the Minions. I like the Minions. I think they're still funny in the first two. But again, they beat it to death. Take other things like the Lego Batman movie, for instance. Lego Batman, played by Will Arnett. Really funny, you know. So fun. I'm Batman. You know, that is great. Lego movie. He was just a side character. Fantastic. Lego Batman movie. Great. The Lego Batman movie is widely regarded as one of my favorite DC films of all time. It might even be my favorite DC film. And then, of course, you have the Lego movie 2, the second part, which also had Batman in it. That's fine. He was not in the Lego Ninjago movie. However, all that saying, I do believe Chris McKay is making the Lego Batman movie 2. And that's great, right? But too much of Lego Batman can be too much of a bad thing, you know. I don't want to get burnt out by Batman. Have more Lego Ninjago sequels, Lego, whatever. Just too much of Minions, too much of Lego Batman, it can be too much, even though they're really good and funny. And Joker is the same thing. Joker is very much a segregated film. There's no broader universe, there's no Batman, I mean, Bruce Wayne's in it, but there's no, like, Batman, overarching Batman. You know, you're not going to see Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, face off against whoever's playing the Batman in that film universe. That's not going to happen, because it's about Joker and his stand and his point of view. However, with this being said, I'm optimistic for Joker 2. We don't know if Joaquin Phoenix is back. He did exercise his interest if the plot was good. Joaquin Phoenix is the kind of guy, he doesn't really like to do Marvel movies, so he speaks. You know, the Marvel movies are not kid-friendly, but they're more or less, there's some jokes in them. You know, they're not super-duper-duper serious. DC is super-duper-duper serious, especially Joker. I mean, that movie's fucked up on many levels. So to have this movie with this actor, he needs some better material than just Marvel, which, again, that's not me saying that. That's Joaquin Phoenix saying that. I love Marvel movies. However, with going forward, you know, I do think that this movie can succeed if they go about it a certain way and they do a good script and they do a good job. Just like the first one. If they can do, you know, capture that lightning in a bottle again, that would be great. But again, too much of Joker can ruin the Joker franchise because the first movie works, again, as a segregated film. There's so many things about the movie that you don't need to be explained. We don't need a sequel. Like Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 ended perfectly. We didn't need Toy Story 4. What did we get? Well, we got Toy Story 4. And say what you want about it, I actually do enjoy the film. Truth be told, I think we can all agree that we did not need that movie. Cars 4, for instance. There is no Cars 4, but let's just pretend. Cars 3 ended perfectly. Make a Cars 4? Why would you do that? You know what I mean? There's so many films that end on perfect notes, and they keep continuing it, and they may be good, but once you keep retreading them into the dirt's going to pile up, and it's going to blow in the wind, and no one's going to remember. However, with Joker, like I said, if they have a good idea and they have a good execution, I do think that they can make a worthy successor to Joker. However, my opinion still stands that, like I said, this movie is perfect as its own. I think if you do try to expand this, people will start forgetting about it. The reason why Joker works so much, many ways, there's a whole list of why Joker works, but the biggest reason is that there's no cinematic universe around it. It's just its own movie about a guy who goes crazy, named Arthur Fleck. That's all we need. We don't need Lex Luthor meeting up with him, meeting up with Catwoman, meeting up with, I don't know, Swamp Thing. You know, we don't need any of that. And while I would like that, because again, I'm a huge DC fan, I do think that, again, biggest point of this video is take something that's really good and keep doing things with it. It's not going to be really good. It's going to be forgettable, and people are going to hate it. Just like Minions, just like Lego Batman, just like Toy Story 4. Now, I know that those things aren't hated by everyone. I, in fact, mostly love those things, especially Lego Batman and Toy Story 4. However, don't keep making sequels. That's the big thing of this video. Do not keep making sequels because people are going to forget about it, not going to make as much money, and they're going to be eventually worse because they're going to run out of ideas. Joker, like I said, lightning in a bottle. I think that if they do make a sequel, again, they have a lot of reason to make it great, and it has huge potential. But again, in the wrong hands, this movie can be extremely poorly made, and I don't think anyone would like it. So, in the end of the deal, again, they are making Joker 2, and they are making more DC villain origin story films. So please tell me in the comments what, out of any DC supervillain you've ever seen, or played as in a game, or saw a movie, whatever, cartoon, whatever, tell me in the comments, A, what superhero movie you'd like them to make on any supervillain and why, and then B, would you want Joker 2, why or why not? Me personally, again, I would like it if they do it justice. If not, keep it the same. Joker 1 is perfect. You don't need to go, you know, expanding on that universe. I think it works as its own. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm actually pretty pumped. Again, I hope they do it justice. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in the next video.